Alright, so back in the garage here working on the 2110. I had to clearance some barrel spacers to fit around the inserts. That's something you'll have to do. If you have the 10mm insert, you need to make sure these sit flat on the deck and don't rock. You want it to sit flat. These go under the barrel to add a little length for the extra stroke, and that's going to give us our deck height we want and make the barrel a little bit longer. Or make it more in the area that we need it. So that's what's going on there. Put the degree wheel on there. We'll get this cylinder head bolted on over here. We'll make a push rod, set up our rocker arm geometry, and then we'll check our cam timing. I already put the cover on, so hopefully it'll be right on or close. Somebody wanted to know if I would sell this motor, and I don't know if I'd be comfortable selling a motor with this type of crank. I would rather go with like a scat if I was going to be responsible or have to warranty it. This is sort of an experimental motor to see how this crank holds up at this power level. So it's just really a toss of the dice, and I would hate to have somebody spend this kind of money and then have it not work out. So if you do want a motor, we can custom build you one for your application and for the horsepower that you want to make. And it's just something that we got to figure out how much your car weighs and how fast you want to go and how much money you want to spend. So that's what's going on with that. Some other people were wanting to know what's going on with the health issue stuff, and it's just bone related. I have some issues with my neck. I had surgery about 3 years ago on the back on my neck. And, you guys ever seen that? It's pretty nasty. It goes up into my head and down on my back. And they went in there and put a rope and anchor type deal in there. And it looks like a suspension bridge on the back of my head. And some of that stuff's interfering with some of my ligaments. The wire's cutting into some muscles now. And apparently they removed some of that stuff when they put that in there. And it's not supposed to grow back, but it did. So I had that issue, which is really painful. And then when they fixed the front, they went through the front and they fused my neck about 7 months ago. And they plated it from 2 to 6, and the weight from my fat head is smashing 7 and 8 now. So trying to come up with a game plan for that. Maybe possible treatments, whatever. So I'm having to get a series of MRIs done and different type studies, and good times. Apparently the machine was broke Saturday when I went to the hospital, so I didn't get everything done. I got some x-rays done and I have to go back for the MRI. But I want to say thanks for the guys that put out the good wishes and the prayers for me. I appreciate it. And you guys that have been watching my channel for 3 years now know that we've come a long way. So little setbacks aren't too bad for me. I mean, it's just that where we've come from and where we've gotten to is pretty huge. So I don't try to complain too much. I don't like getting surgeries. It's not one of my favorite things to do. And I'm not looking forward to having my neck worked on again, to tell you the truth, or my lower back. I've been getting the epidural blocks, and apparently the steroids have accelerated my degenerate bone disease. Apparently a lot of steroid use isn't good, and it can affect your bone mass. So that's what we're dealing with now, having to come up with a different treatment program. And so that's it. I try not to do too many videos on the health stuff. Try to keep it positive. I like to not think about that stuff. And of course, the more I have to deal with it, the more it gets up front in my head. But I try to surround myself with other stuff to take my mind off of it. I don't like taking the pain medicine during the day, so coming out here and doing stuff gets my head off of the pain and gets me thinking about other things. So they did change my medicine that I take last month, and it's sort of kicking my ass. It's way too strong for me. And come on in, kitty cat. So that's what I'm dealing with there. Still trying to deal with that cat. He he got a lot stronger, man, but his leg is really bad. It's infected. I think somebody shot it, and he's having a lot of deals. So I got him on some antibiotics, and I'm having to flush it with hydrogen peroxide, and it's nasty. It stinks. So I don't know, man. The cat is a scrapper, and every time I want to put it to sleep, you know, I think about people that don't give up on me. So seems to be happy, still likes to be petted, still eats, still goes to the bathroom, and still nursing that bad boy, and working on this motor. So I just want to make that video to say thank you again for the people that contacted Andrea wondering what was going on. I know Easy Jeezy made a video, and I want to say thank you. And it's pretty cool. I have a group of people that, you know, if I don't make a video or something, they start blowing the email up, or the Facebook. I don't personally have a Facebook, but a lot of you guys are on my wife's Facebook, and she tries to keep the medical thing updated, and she has to deal with it as much as I do. So she's been going to the appointments with me for 12 years now, dragging me to the doctors. My stepfather took me in the beginning, then it got to be too much for him to deal with. So, and then he passed away, of course. But anyway, I'm lucky I have Andrea to cart me around to these places and deal with the doctors. Right now I'm in the middle of transition. My doctor that I really like has cancer, and it's a really sad deal. He's very compassionate. And I sort of figured it out after his sister is at the same practice. She told me that her brother had cancer and he was battling it, and that's why he wasn't seeing patients anymore. And so I'm having to deal with new doctors that maybe haven't dealt with pain before, you know. And it doesn't matter if you're you know, in that profession until you're really you deal with the pain personally. I mean, you always have a better understanding of how bad it can be. And I guess being that he has cancer that he's battling, he's going through some bad stuff with the chemo. So, but anyway, that's enough of that stuff. That's what's happening here. I need to clean the garage up. Hans took the TIG welder out and was welding something. His intake manifold, or his exhaust manifold. He's been working on his motor, and that's what's been going on. I got the snap ring pliers out over there. I just got these done, so I'm going to get some right stuff and seal the bottom of these cylinders and spacers up, and then I'm going to try to get this motor into a long block form. We're going to use the JC push rod tubes on this, the aluminum push rod tubes. I need to order some of those. I have a broken set in the cabinet there, and I'm going to order a set of those and a matching pulley and generator stand and alternator pulley. So I try to put a little bling on it too, so it looks decent. And you know, if it turns out to be a decent motor, I'll probably let it go. But I'm definitely going to put some miles on it and abuse it, you know, and make sure that it doesn't have any issues first. So, but I do have a magnesium case coming, cut out for 94s. I was going to build a 1915, pretty much a stock big block. Well, not a big block, but a moderate block, you know. Very small cam, maybe a C25 or even stock, I don't know yet. A good set of German rods, a good counterweighted crank, and a good set of 40 millimeter heads, and I think it'll run really well and be a nice piece. So I'm going to put that together. I'll sell that and be confident with that, and then we'll get some parts for a 2332. Seems to be the popular motor that people want. You know, they want them as big as you can make them. That's not as big as you can go, but you know, we'll get something like that, one of those kits coming. And we'll get a little different style rod this time and have them clearance before we have the rod sent to us. So all stuff that we learned using these 3/8 rod bolts rods. If you buy the 5/16 rod bolt rods, you'll have no issues. They'll clear fairly well. The 3/8 bolt adds some bulk to the rod, and also, you know, the bolt's quite a bit bigger. So that's what's going on. I heard from Noel. I didn't get to go to the races this weekend, which wasn't real happy about that. But there's going to be times where I can't go, I guess. And the car broke again. Let me put this camera down so I don't shake you to death. The car broke again. It's 3 times now. We tried to take it to the track and it broke on the starting line. Apparently it did a really nice burnout. We've been having a problem with the brake system. It's got like a Jaguar brake on it. It's welded to the CV joint flange, and then it bolts to the rotor, and then it has a caliper in the center of the car. There's no brakes on the outside wheels. And we put 12-15 passes on there and at moderate horsepower, and at the 5-second horsepower level it's not holding up very well. It broke that bracket off last time we went to South Carolina and cleaned the ring and pinion off the brand new 344, so we lost a tranny there. And he retigged the brake rotor onto the hub, and it broke at the other end this time. So apparently it broke right on the starting line. It folded the caliper up this time beyond repair. It was really hard to get the car off the track. And of course it broke another $2,700 transmission. So it's been really expensive the last few times taking the car out. And we're finally going to buy some brakes and re-engineer the back half of the car. So I was heading over to Knowles on Friday and didn't feel very well. Ended up having to turn around and come home. It was a 3-hour deal by the time I got back home. But we'll try to get over there. We put a new clutch in the car. Got a new Ron Loomis multi-disc clutch there, and a billet flywheel for it. And we'll have to order some brakes now for sure for the car. I guess Noel went scooter motor for Nancy out of the blue car and went 814 on the brakes. She usually runs 840, so that car ran really well. And she uses a street tire on that car, so they don't leave like a race car. They just drive it off the starting line. So 814 is pretty impressive for a full body sedan. But so that's cool. Might have learned a few things this weekend about ignition systems, and we definitely learned that we got to fix the brakes. So we'll get over there and do that, and I'll try to get you guys some videos on what we do to fix the problem, and hopefully we'll be able to put a tranny in there and make a pass or two next time we go to the track. It's getting a little disappointing. I don't know when the next race is. The race today was in Reynolds, Georgia. Like I said, I didn't get to go. I thought about driving up there last night, but I was feeling pretty crippy. So every time I would attempt to get up, I was really drowsy and fall back to sleep. So I basically slept through it. The drive time, the window I had to drive, and didn't see any much sense in leaving this morning early and then driving 10 hours today and killing myself in the car. So that's another problem. Driving's hard on me right now. So hopefully the next race we'll be able to go to, and we're gonna have a few motors here to put in one of the race cars and test. That's the only benchmark we got. We'll put it in one of the aspirated cars and make a lap or two on it and see how it holds up. And if it doesn't self-disintegrate in the race car, that'll be a good indication that it'll be okay for the street. So let me turn this off. I got lights flashing. Let me see what it's saying. I think we're good. It was just flashing for some reason. But anyway, thanks again for all the emails. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the guys that cheer my wife along. You know who you are. Neil's one of them. He's a good friend of mine. He's over in England. And Neil is coming to the States. I think he's going to be here for almost a month. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to spending some time with Neil. Maybe drive to the bus around a little bit. Go see some things in Florida here. Maybe go see Mickey Mouse Land. And it'll be cool to hang out with Neil. And I think this is his first trip to the States. I'm not sure. Maybe not. But I heard PDQ might be coming back too, so that'll be That'll be cool if they both come. I know PDQ will come for just the party. And I know Neil's going to stay for a couple weeks after the party. So pretty cool. We got some people coming from over the pond to check out the party. I think Mr. Boswick, I don't know if he's coming or not. Bruce, he was originally going to come, but he's had some issues lately. And he doesn't know if he's going to attend or not. But it'll be cool to have anybody come, no matter where you come from. But sort of looking forward to spending a little time with Neil, with my old buddy Neil. So we're going to do some barbecuing and good old American pastime stuff, you know. So till then, till the next video, you guys make the best of it. Push that record button. You guys go check out some of the guys that have put up a few Volkswagen videos. Check out the guys that are commenting on my page. A lot of those guys have videos now they're trying to put up and get their pages started, so support those guys. Check out their Volkswagen videos. Try to encourage them. I know one guy is doing an engine build, and I need to get some names together. I didn't remember your channel name, and then another guy is they were thrashing out in the sand and the mud and having a good old time. He put some videos up of that, so did get to enjoy some of those videos while I was down for a day. But so I'm enjoying the guys that are starting to get into it and make videos. Be patient, you know, the views will come. And it's always cool when you make a video. You got to start somewhere. I mean, I started and 2 or 3 people were watching, and you know, I stuck with it, and eventually, you know, you become a part of the group, and people are looking forward to seeing your next video. And there's always room for more people in the group, guys. So don't be discouraged to pick up the camera and make some videos. Till the next one, you guys have a good one.